You know why we called it astrobot? Because we bought the award for it.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we have some more Nintendo fanboy salt. So most of you guys know that the Game Awards happened a few days ago now, and honestly I thought they were pretty mid. Like, there were a few good announcements, but most of it was just slop. However, one thing I love about the Game Awards is the fact that it makes fanboys so salty. And that's exactly what we're gonna be taking a look at today. A Nintendo fanboy is super salty over the Game Awards. That fanboy is, of course, Harman Smith. Now, if you've watched my channel, you know exactly who this is. This guy is known for some super intelligent statements like,
I am not playing my gaming PC because it simply isn't as good as my Nintendo consoles.
Now, let me give some context before we get into today's video. The reason why Harmon Smith is so upset over the Game Awards is because 0 Nintendo games got any awards, and a Sony PlayStation game, Astrobot, won Game of the Year. Anyway, with all of that out of the way, we can get into today's video. You know, I absolutely love when I'm watching a YouTube video and there's just silence at the beginning of the video while the guy gets ready to start talking. Like, you couldn't cut this out.
No one is talking about the Game Awards.
Nobody is talking about the Game Awards, but here you are, on camera, talking about the Game Awards. Also, you have made many community posts about the Game Awards.
Nobody watched the Game Awards.
You sure about that? The official video on the Game Awards channel for the Game Awards 2024 got 12 million views, and this is not even counting all the views from channels like IGN that also streamed the event. And it also doesn't count people who watched their favorite streamer react to the event.
Nobody cares about the Game Awards.
Well, I mean, you seem to care a lot about it because you've made multiple community posts about it and you're constantly talking about it. If you truly didn't care about it, you wouldn't be talking about it.
The Game Awards is kind of the last shred of credibility that PlayStation has. Like, no, we're popular. Look at all these awards Jeff Keighley gave us after we paid him all this money.
Do you have a source that PlayStation paid Jeff Keighley to put Astrobot as Game of the Year? Oh wait.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Just because a PlayStation game won Game of the Year doesn't mean it was bought and paid for. Nintendo games have won Game of the Year before. I guess those are bought and paid for too, right?
You know why we called it astrobot? Because we bought the award for it.
I mean, shit, dude, I'm not even gonna lie, that was a clever one. Still doesn't make it true, though.
Unbelievable, unbelievable seeing just the fallout from this award show, seeing, Statler and Waldorf being, venerated, and that it's, the heroes of the night, and seeing everybody just kind of refusing to address the elephant in the room, is that, this is a typical year for the Game Awards. Right? When you didn't have a Nintendo game to beat, what ended up happening was that it was a massive shill show for the PlayStation nation.
I mean, can we be honest? What the fuck did Nintendo even put out this year? They dropped Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, which was a remake of a 20-year-old game, which on a gameplay level was worse than the original due to the fact that the frame rate was chopped in half like a big fat juicy fucking chicken. Besides that, we had Brothership, which was alright, but I don't think it's Game of the Year worthy. I don't know if you know this or not, but the reason why Nintendo didn't get any awards is because they put out jack shit this year. Which is understandable considering the Switch 2 is about to come out, but I don't understand why you're so shocked about this. You don't put out a game, you don't get an award.
Right? It was the PlayStation Awards.
In the lineup for Game of the Year, there was only one PlayStation game, which was Astrobot. I don't really understand how that makes the whole thing the PlayStation Awards. And who cares what plastic box it came out for? It's a good game, so it deserves to be in the lineup for Game of the Year.
And I've talked about this extensively in the past, but it really does need to be said here. Astrobot winning Game of the Year proves that none of this matters and that it isn't going to amount to anything, because Astrobot is an old IP, over a decade old, that
Okay, there's two things I want to bring up here. First of all, you say astrobot winning means that this doesn't matter. However, if it were a Nintendo game, you'd be singing the opposite tune. You'd be saying that it does matter. Second of all, astrobot is an IP that's over a decade old? That's news to me.
Sony have been trying to make a thing for years now, right? And with this release, they tried doing this thing where like, oh, it's better than Mario, like, oh, like they tried saying it was a bestseller, that it outperformed Mario Wonder, that it did all this, that it won Game of the Year.
It's funny that you say that because you're the only person I see comparing Mario Wonder to Astrobot. They're not even comparable games. One is a 2D platformer, another is a 3D platformer. But that's the thing with Harman, he just compares everything to Nintendo even if they aren't comparable.
But the reality is quite a bit different, right? The reality is that this game was completely and totally irrelevant. Not only did it not outperform Mario Wonder, it failed to outperform Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It failed to outperform like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Like,
why the fuck are you bringing up Kirby and the Forgotten Land and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which is a game that came out in 2014, by the way? Did you expect them to give the award to a game that came out in 2014? Like, why even bring this shit up? Like, yeah, the game might have sold better than Astrobot, but that got nothing to do with this award show giving the Game of the Year award to Astrobot.
There are so many other Nintendo platforming series that Astrobot would have to top before it even came close to Mario. And as it stands now, the entire industry agrees on this, by the way. Astrobot isn't even better than Super Mario Galaxy.
First of all, that is completely subjective. Somebody might think Astrobot's better, and someone might think Super Mario Galaxy is better. Also, Super Mario Galaxy came out like a decade and a half ago, so it's completely irrelevant to the Game Awards.
Right? So you gave an award to a game that could not even outperform a Wii game from 2007.
I just don't even understand what he's trying to prove here. A game from 2007 ain't winning a 2024 award, bro. The Game Awards are only gonna give out awards for games that released this year. And when it comes to Nintendo, it's been fuck all.
Okay, that's how bad things have gotten, right? They tried everything they possibly could to prop up Astrobot, to prop up Baldur's Gate 3, to prop up Elden Ding-a-ling.
My brother in Christ, Elden Ring came out in early 2022 and you are still coping about it? At this point, Miyazaki himself has built a log cabin inside your head and he is living rent-free. In fact, no, I take that back. The entire From Software development team is living in your head rent-free. They have like a little village built in that shit. And same with the Baldur's Gate 3 development team. You've been crying about that game since mid-2023. That entire development team also has a village built inside your head.
Right? They did everything they could to like legitimize these games, prop them up as all-time classics, try and put them on the same degree of success and popularity as Nintendo's heavy hitters, and all of them failed. Every single one.
Elden Ring failed? Last time I checked, which was around September of 2024, the game sold around 29 million copies. And it was a massive success and did way better than even From Software themselves expected the game to do. And Baldur's Gate 3 also did very, very well, and tons of people are still playing it on Steam.
To continue this farce of the industry in pretending that Nintendo is not the dominant force in the industry, that they aren't the market leader, that they don't have the most successful brands and the most powerful consoles.
At this point, we have reached a new level of delusion. He literally thinks the Switch is the most powerful console. If that's the case, then why does Doom Eternal, a game that's on consoles and the Nintendo Switch, why does the Switch version run at 30 FPS at around 600p, and the Series X and PlayStation 5 version run at 120 FPS 1440p? Why do so many third-party games skip the Switch? You would think they would want to put the games on the Switch to get more sales, but it's because the Switch isn't powerful enough.
I am sick and tired of seeing the Game Awards be propped up as a weapon to be used against Nintendo.
How are the Game Awards being used against Nintendo? Because a PlayStation game won Game of the Year instead of a Nintendo game, despite Nintendo putting literally almost nothing out this year? I don't get it, dude. This is the most, brain dead shit of all time. Also, care to provide a source that the Game Awards are being used against Nintendo? Oh wait, who am I kidding? We all know the source.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
I was saying it before the show aired, and I'm saying it after I did not watch it. The Game Awards are bullshit.
However, if a Nintendo game won Game of the Year, you'd be here saying how important it is and how it's not bullshit.
I am going to continue pointing this out. We cannot allow this to continue.
Yo, why is this dude acting like he's the Martin Luther King Jr. of gaming or some shit? I'm sorry to tell you this, bro, but you're not stopping the Game Awards anytime soon. He's acting like Jeff Keighley is gonna see Harman and the 3 people who hang out in his comment section say the Game Awards sucks, and he's gonna be like, alright guys, we gotta pack it up, no more Game Awards.
I don't want to hear about this show. I don't want to hear people talking about it.
You don't want to hear people talking about it, but here you are making a video talking about it, which will inevitably make more people talk about it. The self-awareness is not very high.
So, with that being said, what was the real Game of the Year? I produced my own Game of the Year show. Super Mario and Luigi Brothership 1, of course.
Yeah, the one fucking game they put out this year. I mean, it's not like you had any other options if you don't want to include remakes.
Is anyone seriously excited about The Witcher 4 featuring the girl boss Ciri or Neil Druckmann's new game?
I mean, I just find it funny that you shit-talk The Witcher 4 for having a girl boss Ciri, but yet earlier this year you were hyping up Princess Peach Showtime. Okay, so let me get this straight. When you play as a girl from the Witcher games, that means girl boss. But when you play as Princess Peach from the Mario games, that doesn't mean girl boss. Do you see what I'm getting at here? There's absolutely no consistency. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up today's video. If you guys liked, please leave a like, subscribe, and if you didn't, you can leave a dislike and an angry comment. I'm out. Peace, y'all.